My name is Mickey Rivers. I am here with Weasel Corp, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Spring 2022 election results party. We are live here on Weasel News. We have a wonderful audience with us today, and I'd like to start by introducing our announcers for the evening, Mr. Tobias Eklund and Mr. Eddie Concord. Welcome,
Thank you, Mickey.
gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Mickey. Good evening, live from Endeavor Associates Vineyard. My name's Tobias Eklund, and here we have my co-host, Eddie Concord. We welcome you all to the 2022 spring election results. During the event tonight, we will be providing updates for the spring election, and we want to thank Toe Beans, Reese's Pizza, Euphoric Cannabis, and a special thank you again to Endeavor Associates for allowing us such a beautiful venue for this event tonight. We'll bring you regular updates throughout the evening as results are brought to us. While you're here awaiting results, please mingle, enjoy the music stylings of Conrad Knives. He'll be inside. And everyone, please enjoy yourselves this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My son. He's dead. You bonked your head.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Now, we're going to have lots to share with you tonight on this broadcast. We are going to have a few special guests that we're going to talk to about this election in the past term, and we're going to be sharing results throughout the evening. So I'm very excited to be here with everyone today. We are just a few minutes away from the first vote drop, but I'm sure everyone is waiting with anticipation. This looks like it's going to be a tight race based on the polling that we've had so far from Weasel News, and all the candidates have performed admirably. Special thanks to our governor candidates who showed up for a fantastic debate earlier last week to give us all an opportunity to see where they stand on the issues and give the voters a more informed choice. I can see that we have a lot of candidates here today who are eager to see how their campaigns turn out, and we here are excited to find out with you. I think no matter who wins tonight, it's going to be because they fought hard, they campaigned well, and they showed the voters of San Andreas that they have a platform the people believe in. Now, we have an interview coming up here with one of our outgoing state representatives, Speaker Endeavor Jackson. But before we do that, we are going to have our first results drop here in a minute or so. So what I'd like to invite our announcers back on stage with me here. Now, gentlemen, you, in addition to being the announcers for tonight's event, you also moderated the governor debate this week. How was it for you to have the opportunity to take part in this aspect of the political process?
Oh, it was great fun. Honestly, having a front row seat to be able to hear the opinions and positions of the candidates was a great opportunity. Not just as a voter, but as a citizen that wants to stay informed in the inner workings of the government. So it was great to be a part of it. It was a lot of fun. The candidates were super respectful of the event and of each other and the voters' time, so I was happy to be involved.
How about you, Mr. Concord?
Yeah. Personally, I thought it was really good and stuff because it let me understand the political process as well as really kind of get to know the candidates for who were deciding to go into a position of power and be politically inclined.
Now, I'm sure every voter has their own opinion as to, who won the debate and who performed the best. But there is one question that I think everyone here would like to know from you, Mr. Concord, which is who won the buzzer count at the debate?
Oh,
that was pretty clear.
Yeah, that was pretty clear. The winner of the Buzzergate 2022 would go straight to Dan White. Yep, 100% won. Yep. That man right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so there you have it, folks.
Ain't no buzzer silencing me.
No matter who wins the election, Dan White won Buzzergate,
Absolutely.
or lost it, depending on your perspective.
Oh, and I believe
Calm
Eddie's
down.
brought the buzzer with him here today, just in
Calm
case.
down. It's not over, Mr.
I
White.
don't think he knows
Oh,
how to
it's not
calm
over
down.
till it's over.
It's not over. I'll press that button.
So, from your perspectives, as moderators of the debate, what was your thought process in trying to come up with questions that would be representative of, what the voters wanted to learn about these candidates?
One thing that was great was that a lot of the questions were provided to us by the public. So that made, that gave an opportunity for us to ask questions that were directly relevant to what people want to know. So a lot of the hard work was done for us. I mean, you guys submitted your questions and we, just asked them. There were some other questions that I think that were brought up that were relevant to some timely events and whatnot. But like I said, I think the majority of them came from you guys, the voters.
I think a lot of the overall people in themselves and the submission of the questions kind of helped, drive the overall debate itself. Moderating, making sure that the questions were fair and to the point and not skewed in any kind of way to show favorability or, inconsistency was something that we wanted to make sure that when the candidates for the parties wanted to answer those questions that they were fair and to the point to give people the direct answers that they wanted.
Yeah, I think that was an important thing, was that there were definitely some tough questions in there directed at certain candidates, but I think we did our best to ensure that everyone was getting an opportunity to answer those tough questions and not, directing them at any one candidate.
Yeah, I think that's it's a great part of our political process. At the end of the day, every election is different, every campaign is different, every candidate is different, and we have to recognize that at the same time there are some questions that apply across many elections, many campaigns, many candidates, but at the same time, there are some issues and some questions that need to be tailored to the moment. So it's great that you all, as moderators, were able to basically finally find that line. Bring us one I thought turned out to be an excellent debate. But without further ado, it looks like we have some election results coming in, so I'm going to get out of your way so you can give us what we're all here for.
Yeah, let me just take just a moment to review these here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for coming. Currently, we have an update in regards to 23.5% of the reporting overall votes. For state reps, we have Ryan Avery, Jericho DeMonta, James Paxton, Jordan Malone, and Beck Lawson, currently counted for as far as majority votes at 23.5% of the reporting.
And also remember, this is still early reporting here. 23.5% of the vote. Looks like we currently have Carmen McKenzie taking the lead right now with nearly 60% of the vote total. Remember, this is still early on. We'll be reporting back with the next set of results that we have.
Thank you, gentlemen. Looks like this is already shaping up to be a very interesting race. We've got a lot of votes coming in here, and nobody's out of it yet. And I'm sure that the makeup of this race is going to change drastically throughout the night. But for now, I'd like to invite as our guest on this broadcast a man who has just finished serving his third term in the state legislature, the current Speaker of our Congress, Mr. Endeavor Jackson.
Woo! Hell yeah.
Hello.
Welcome,
How's it
Mr.
going?
Jackson. Thank you for joining us today.
How's it going?
We're doing quite well. I think there's one thing that everyone is thinking right now, which is how does it feel to be leaving the legislature after serving your third and final term as a state representative?
I won't lie, it's obviously, a bit sad because, I've been doing this for like 3 terms now. But I also look at the upside, something, a bit of change, and obviously new people coming in with brand new ideas. And I think I've built a foundation, at least anyways. Now it's just for the new generation to come in and build on that, essentially.
That's great. Now, given that there, is a new generation here, no matter how you look at it, there's only going to be, 1 or 2 people in office who've served like a full term prior to this election. We have a lot of people who served partial terms in the legislature before. So there is certainly a lot of experience here, but, there's definitely a gap here to be filled for someone who has 3-term experience such as yourself. What would you say is, one of the things that you've learned along the way that you'd like to share with the incoming state representatives to make them successful in the next term?
The biggest issue that I had when I first came to state rep, and I've seen it with obviously like the new ones coming in, is getting into like a way of writing the bills itself, because you're obviously you have your own way of writing, your own taste, and obviously how you write the bill to get it across to the people itself. So obviously, I'd say write as many bills as you can, just privately to yourself. And once you do that, you'll get into a rhythm. Then you get comfortable with it. Then you get confident, just to get it out to the the general form to everyone.
Yeah, that's a great tip. And on the topic of writing bills, what advice would you give for representatives in the next term to figure out how to structure the content of their bills? How do they understand what it is that the people want and what these bills need to contain in order to be successful at getting through the legislative process?
Well, obviously you need to find out what's going on in the city, the state itself. What I did, I used to do like weekly routes where I'd go to different people, different businesses, just to see what's on their minds and see if there's something that we could actually do. Then basically from there, it's just getting into that rhythm of finding out how to do it.
All right. And I think another aspect of your ability to get as far as you have in your political career, to have served 3 terms in legislature, is the ability to get elected and get reelected for those successive terms. What advice would you share to future political hopefuls about what it means to run a successful campaign?
Well, it's kind of a difficult question, because there's hundreds of different things that come into it. Obviously, it's meeting people. That's the biggest thing, because if no one knows your name, why would they vote for you? And if they don't know what you stand for, or who you are, essentially, you're not really going to get that vote. So at the end of the day, you really need to sort of, who you are is your brand, and getting yourself out there and getting into arguments with people that may not agree with what you can, and you might even find out, oh yeah, no, I was wrong there, or that guy was wrong. Then you can obviously build it from there.
And now with so many new or less experienced faces coming into our political process here with this election. Is there anyone among the candidates today that you've been personally keeping an eye on?
Yeah, keep an eye on them all. Won't lie. It's nice to see the new faces coming in. Then obviously if they ask for some advice about certain things, I'll happily give it out. But keeping an eye on everyone, pretty much.
And you may be leaving office, but as many people know, leaving office doesn't necessarily mean that someone is completely out of the political world. There's always lots more that can be done to engage with our government. Do you have any plans of this nature moving forward after you leave office?
As of right now, no. I'm planning to sort of do the vineyard to sort of build this place up again. Just get a few things built here essentially. So I'll be keeping with the vineyard for the time being anyway.
Well, we certainly appreciate having the vineyard available as our venue this evening. It's looking wonderful. The weather is great, and I'm sure that the public here is glad to hear that there will be more events and ongoings here in the future as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. We hope to have probably 2 or 3 events a month anyway, for private and public events.
Now, looking back on your past 3 terms in office, are there any particular accomplishments that come to mind for you as defining moments of your career?
Yeah, there's a couple. I think one of the earliest bills that I wrote with some people, especially DOCL, used to call them Chamber of Commerce. I think that was either HR 9 or HR 8, and that sort of made that department, which is a big department now, and it's doing great for the state. I think that was in the first term. In the second term, we had the impeachment of William Benin, which I was a part of. We fixed that, and we fixed the government in that issue. Then in this term, and been more focusing on small criminal code stuff, just to get that, just the stuff that needed to be done. Well, I say needed. There's a couple of things that wasn't done, which will be done in the next term. But it's just more criminal codes and stuff which was needed badly.
And
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
There is one more, just off the top of my head, is the I can't remember the bill number, but it's the public awards and the public servant award, which it hasn't been given out yet, but that was a good bill that I wrote with what over there, that is the Secretary of Staff, and hopefully in the next term we will get that award out to some people.
And conversely, again, looking back over your past 3 terms, what would you say was the biggest challenge or the biggest thing that you had to learn in your time in office?
The impeachment. Impeachment was probably the biggest thing. There was a lot of things that could have gone right but didn't, and obviously things that went wrong. But that was obviously the biggest thing that I learned from it all, and especially the other state reps that were a part of that. So that was the biggest thing that we learned how to sort of deal with, because it was the first impeachment and hopefully the last in the state.
Now, we can certainly help, can't we?
Hope so.
So, with that, I'd like to thank you for coming here and sharing your thoughts with the public here and those watching at home. It's certainly, you will have left a lasting impact on the state of San Andreas over your last 3 terms in office. And I think I speak for everyone in saying that we wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're back, and it looks like the vote is coming in really quickly tonight. We are already at 49.8% of the vote reporting. We're going to start with the governor's race. Honestly, it looks like we're looking at a two-way race here right now between Carmen McKenzie at 54 and but just over 54%, and Dan White at 45.85%. So this is looking like a two-way race for governor at the moment. It looks like Eddie's got the numbers for you here for the state rep race.
Hello, everyone. Yes, it is I, EDDIE. I have an update in regards to 49.8% of the reporting. It looks right now that we have Mr. James Paxton at 23.50%. We have Ryan Avery, 21.20%. Then followed up with Jericho Del Monte, 17.51%, as well as Jordan Malone at 12.90%, with a Miss Audrey Storm at 10.60%. Again, this is at the 49.8% reporting halfway.
All right, thank you guys. We'll be back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for providing those results. As you can see, the race is already shifting. The top five for our state representative race has changed significantly from our last update, and I can't wait to see how it changes further as the remainder of the votes get released. But for now, I'd like to invite our next guest to join me this evening. That would be Lieutenant Governor Carmen McKenzie.
That's my daughter.
Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing great. We've got wonderful weather, wonderful people here, and very excited to see yet another day of democracy here in San Andreas.
Absolutely.
Now, at this point, you're, of course, one of the three candidates for governor in this election, and you're coming off your second term as lieutenant governor as well, having previously been the Secretary of State before that. So from your perspective, how does it feel to have been part of, the San Andreas state government for so long over the past several terms, and, be looking at the possibility of continuing that work should you be elected today?
It's exciting, honestly. I've learned so much, and I'm so very thankful for everyone who's given me opportunities to learn and grow. Both James and Vlad have given me amazing assistance with where I am today. I wouldn't be here without them. So obviously, I wanted to make sure they understand I'm appreciative of that help and their support. It's not always a job that is thanked, but it's needed. And I'm not here to make friends with people, but make sure that everyone's voice is heard, that everyone has what they need from the government, that we are operating on their best interest. And that's really the hardest part of it, is understanding that you're not going to be able to please everybody, but you need to make sure that what you're doing is for the better.
You mentioned that, the mentorship that you've received from the governors that you've worked under has been invaluable. What's one thing that you feel you learned the most from the governors that you've worked under?
This is really difficult because I would say for James, he taught me most of what I know. He believed in me before I believed in me, and I wouldn't be here without his basically pulling me aside and telling me, hey, you should be in the government one way or the other. So I think I learned a lot of his tenacity. I learned the limits of what we can and cannot do, and how to honestly and earnestly advocate for change that is possible, and tell people straight out when it's not.
Now, of course, in this election, compared to previous elections, you had to select a running mate rather than be selected as a running mate as you were with Governor Todd. What what changed for you in having to, make that decision of who to run with, rather than, be selected by someone else?
Oh, that was like the hardest choice ever. Because you want people that you know and trust, but you also want to make sure there's somebody who's going to balance you, right? I know who I am and what I stand for. I know who Wheeler is and what he stands for, and sometimes we don't agree, but I think that works in our favor because he challenges me and I challenge him in turn, and we're able to have conversations that end up coming to a resolution that neither one of us may have expected, but is probably the best route for everyone involved. Before him, I had actually spoken to Endeavor and Rai Rai about being running mates, and both were excellent options. But I think Endeavor and I, we weren't able to connect during this term to really work out how that would operate. And I think Rai Rai and I are too close, being siblings, that it would have been too much of agreement. I need someone that will challenge me, and I think he will do an amazing job as a state rep, a lot better for the state at this very moment.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that thought process. Now, whether you win your election today or it goes to one of the other candidates, there will be a new lieutenant governor in office for this coming term. Do you have any advice you would like to share from your time in that position to the next person who holds that role?
Oh, absolutely. Your biggest advocate is being able to communicate with the heads of departments as well as the legislation. You are going to be the bridge between the executive, the legislature, and all the departments, and making sure everything is running smoothly.
And looking back over your time as lieutenant governor, is there anything in particular that you would say that you're most proud of accomplishing?
Huh. Well, I would say, and it goes through both terms actually. My proudest achievement is probably the library. James asked me at the end of the term with him what I wanted before we ended the term, and I said, well, the library opening up would be amazing. It was it was a struggle at first because there was the law school to keep in mind. They also wanted the same spot, and it took a lot of negotiation to get that opened and the ground broken and everything. And then this term, we had the hurdle of how do we fund the library? Where does it get its resources from? How do we hire people to man it? So on and so forth. And that is something that we were able to achieve this term, was getting that bill passed so that way we can start getting the librarians needed, books flowing, and education available to everybody.
Now, I have one final question here for you today, which is that as someone who's been in office and had to, work with people that you campaigned against and things like that, what advice would you give to the candidates here today for how they can, stay engaged and make a difference even if they're not elected?
I mean, the great thing about both this term and last term is whenever there was campaigning, it wasn't a negative one, at least in my regards. I don't think I've seen a lot of mudslinging this election season either. So there's already that respect of, we're all in here trying for the same job. Sure, none of us are going to make it, but we have great ideas. So I highly advise you to sit down with those who didn't make it, talk to them about their ideas, get those resources from them, make sure that their voice is still heard, because there are people that voted for them for a reason. We want to make sure that those ideas don't linger on the campaign trail. Is one of the bane of the legislature at the beginning of last term is whenever I was talking to everybody and passing that information along. But yeah, basically make sure that you reach out, you talk to those who didn't make it, and continue what they were advocating for, because somebody voted for them and they want those changes made.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing those thoughts with us today. We appreciate having you here, and we wish you the best of luck as the rest of the results are released. And on that note, I'd like to welcome our announcers back to the stage to share another vote update.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Hello.
All right, hold the applause. Hold the
hold
applause.
the applause.
Thank you.
Relax. Anyways, hello. We are here again with a update for the overall voting. We are currently at 76.1% of the reporting. Your current leads in the state rep is going to be Ryan Avery at 25.68%. James Paxton at 20.85%. Jericho Del Monta currently at 15.71%. Jordan Malone at 12.99%. Audrey Storm at 11.18%. And now for the next, also very close and a major update in today's race. Drum roll, Mr. Toby will take it away.
All right, remember this is 76.1% reporting. That's just over 3/4 of the vote in. And we said it was a two-way race. Boy, is it a two-way race right now. Currently sitting at just less than half a point difference. We have Carmen McKenzie at 50.17% and Dan White at 49.83%. We are less than half a percentage point between the two. Looks like this is really heating up, so we're going to wait for the rest of the votes to come in, but it looks like it's anyone's race at this point.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Wow, that is, it is getting tense in here. We have so many votes left to count and still no idea how this is going to turn out. I cannot wait to see those final votes roll in and figure out who it is that's going to be representing us. But before then, I'd like to invite our final guest of the evening to join me. That is our current Governor, Vlad Todd. Please join me up here. We would love to speak with you. Governor Todd, welcome. How are you doing today?
Oh, sorry about that. Hi, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great myself. How does it feel to, be here and witness another day of democracy as the election results come in and your term comes to a close?
You know what? Some people might believe the contrary. However, I am very excited to see who ends up winning this election in both the state rep department and the governor gubernatorial departments. It's very exciting to see all the new faces, all the old faces running, and all this hunger and ambition that people have. It's quite exhilarating.
And looking forward to the future, of course, one could say that these are the problems of those who are about to be elected into office. But from your perspective as the current governor, what do you see as some of the biggest issues facing the state today that these newly elected officials will have to tackle?
That's a very good question. Frankly, when it comes down to just changes that the public would want versus needs that would greatly need to be distinguished when it comes down to the candidates once they're elected in office, it's one thing trying to decipher, like, it's obvious what people want, but it's another thing to distinguish what it is that they actually need. Because if we can all get what we wanted, that'd be the ideal perfect world. But there are certain sacrifices that had to be made just so that we ensure not only the safety of our great state, but also, just to make sure that things are in working, efficient order.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. Can you think of any examples of how that came into play, during your term in office?
One example is back when, or let me rephrase what I was about to say. The newly instated executive order that I placed in regards to Princess Robot Bubblegum Day. Once the day came before it was removed, it was supposed to be meant for fun. It was a holiday that a lot of people wanted, and we saw during the actual holiday, during the events that took place, where a lot of businesses started thriving. A lot of business got a bunch of people that would have never gone there on a regular day or didn't even know that the business existed. So it pushes a lot of promotional things in regards to smaller businesses that might need it, as well as bringing a community together in areas where you won't often see life.
And looking back over your past term, what do you feel were some of the accomplishments that you're most proud of in terms of establishing your legacy as governor?
Another fantastic question. One of the greatest achievements that I've been able to reach in terms of this term was the new facility that was granted to MCD. They have a lot more resources at their disposal to conduct investigations, to quickly solve any investigations that are actively going on. And honestly, it's been a great honor working with some of the people that I've worked with. It's been an absolute pleasure to make the connections that I've made, the relationships that I've formed over this time. It's been incredible overall.
And speaking of, forming relationships, do you have any advice that you'd like to share for the future governor or the, incoming state representatives on, how they can best work together to have a, functioning and effective government?
Absolutely. Communication is key. At the end of the day, regardless of your political standing, know that 1, you are partners, you are not just colleagues, and 2, know that you are human. Communication is a very, very powerful tool that is at anyone's disposal. If you feel that you are overwhelmed in working with certain departments or working with the legislations to get certain bills passed, it doesn't hurt to take a step back and say, okay, now that I got my head cleared, let's get back into it. Or, hey, I'm kind of swarmed at the moment. You might help me out with this. Doesn't have to, none of the candidates, whether you're running for governor, lieutenant governor, or state rep, you don't have to bear the burden alone. We're all here to support each other, and that's how it should be.
Wise words indeed. Now, as we're waiting these final votes to come in, looks like the race for governor is very tight, as was your own election race. Do you have any words of wisdom to share with the candidates who are here today, waiting through that suspenseful period of finding out whether or not they have in fact been elected?
Whether you've been elected or not, first off, you should be very proud to be where you are now. You all have taken great strides and great steps to get to this current point in time. Do not let a loss discourage you. I'm pretty sure that whoever it is that gets elected will reach out to those candidates who unfortunately didn't make it, just to hear what concerns and what plans that they had in place to establish the change that they would have wanted to see in the future. But when it comes down to winning and losing, just don't get discouraged. Always have a backup plan and don't stop doing what you're doing just to see the change that you guys want to see. The world needs change, and one more person who has that fire to see that change and just to see it to fruition in general, just makes the job harder on those who actually want to see that change happen.
That's a great point. And, I think every candidate who's here today should remember that, win or lose, they had voters that supported them, who felt that they had a vision for this state that resonated with them. So even if you don't get elected, you still have a mandate from those voters to help them pursue that vision. And, be involved in our political process.
Absolutely. To the candidates that I have personally spoken to and that I know on a personal level, I've seen the work that you've all put in. I'm very, very proud of each and every single one of you. To the candidates that I don't know on a personal level, you have impressed me. You have impressed me to be where you are now. And should you not make it into the office, please do not get discouraged and do not stop.
Well, I don't think I could end on any words wiser than that. So I just want to say, Governor Todd, thank you for the time and effort that you have sacrificed for the state of San Andreas over this last term. Thank you so much for being an advocate for our voters, for being there for the people. And on behalf of Weasel Corp and the rest of the public here today, I'd like to wish you the best on your future endeavors as you move back into the private sector after this term.
I appreciate it. It's been an absolute honor, and hopefully this won't be the last you'll see of me.
We certainly hope not. Thank you very much, Governor Todd, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
All right. It's finally here, the moment you've all been waiting for. The final vote tallies are in, so I'm going to get out of the way and stop holding up progress as our announcers give you what you really came here to hear.
Hold my hand. Hold my hand.
Hello, everyone. Big round of applause for Mickey in helping out and just doing the interviews. Thank you. Thank you. Good job.
Yes, thank you, Mickey.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mickey. Yeah. Thank you. All right, calm down. Okay. All right. So, with further ado, we have the 100% reporting. These are
For all
your...
of you those who don't know math, that's all of it. 100%.
Yeah,
Every last
all of
vote.
it.
They're all here. They're all here.
I'm good at math, so I can confirm this is 100%. Yep. So, without further ado, your state rep winners are Ryan Avery,
Let's fucking go.
Jericho Del Monte,
Let's fucking go.
James
Let's
Paxton,
fucking go.
Jordan Malone, and Audrey Storm. Woo! Let's go!
Jericho,
Congratulations! Congratulations! Good work. Now, another race. The governors, Mr. Toby. After the drum roll.
All right, this was a close one. In fact, it only got closer since last time we talked. It looks like the next governor of San Andreas is going to be Carmen McKenzie with 50.13% of the vote. Dan White very close behind at 49.87%. But your next governor of San Andreas will be Carmen McKenzie and Lieutenant Governor Jacob Wheeler.
I need a recount. Stop the steal. Liberty Party, let's go. Stop the daggone steal.
Shut up, you
We need a recount.
Give me back my trash can!
Yeah, my man. Stop the steal, daggone.
Calm down! Calm
All right,
down.
everyone calm down.
Dad,
Eddie,
calm
Eddie,
down.
hit him with the buzzer. Hit him with the buzzer.
Calm down.
steal.
Don't like to
Just
swear
need a
losers.
recount.
Stop the steal! Recount!
Respect people.
I'll see you in blood nut mouths!
Calm down. Thank you.
All right.
He's taking this
We'd
to
like
the
everyone.
courts.
We'd like your winners, the governor race and state reps, to hang around. We'd like an opportunity to hear from each of you. I think Carmen McKenzie, if you would like to come to the stage, I think the state would love to hear from you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm trying to breathe for a minute.
She didn't even dress correctly.
I did. I just absolutely correctly because McKinsey Enterprises is on the back as my company. Anyways, first off, I want to thank everyone for their support and coming out tonight's event. I know for a lot of you, politics doesn't mean much, but tonight is a huge victory. I want to thank Dan White and Alice Medlin for the courage and strength to run this election. I know we all put a lot of hard work into the governorship, and while not all San Andreas voted for me, I pledge to work with you both in addressing key issues your supporters saw to create better San Andreas for all of us. This term, we will address the criminal code in full force. We will focus our strength on education and support our businesses. We're going to rebuild old sections of the government to better propel them into the future. I want to thank Jacob Wheeler for his dedication this campaign and everyone from the Liberty Party for their support. I also want to thank Bex Lawson for her support throughout the campaign. Without you and all the voters, we would not be here tonight. Nothing in our future is beyond our reach. San Andreas will no longer settle for anything less than the best.
Wow, what a result. I am speechless, so I'm just going to stop talking and invite up our next candidate who was elected today. Ryan Avery, would you like to share some words with us?
That's my son.
Hello. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think I would make it this far.
Oh, speak up.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think I was gonna make it this far. But I'm happy I did. I'm gonna do what's right and what I should have done a long time ago. And I'm gonna make everything better. That's I don't know what that's all I got. Do I just walk away? Do I stand here?
Just walk away. Right? Just walk away.
That's we love you, right.
Hello, and the next speaker that we would like to bring up is Jericho Del Monte.
Thank you. Everyone, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank all those who voted for me and voted for Liberty. This is a Liberty victory election. All of our candidates that made it to the end round got elected, and I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed. With that being said, I want to extend a congratulations to all those who ran in this election, as well as those who won. I would also like to put a special thanks to Bex Lawson. During her term in government, she has helped shape this state to what it is now. And if it was not for her in government, I would not be in government. So thank you, Bex Lawson. And thank you, San Andreas.
All right, thank you, Jericho. All right, next we'd like to invite up your next state rep, former Governor James Paxton.
Hey.
Thanks for having me today. I don't have really too much to say other than thank you to everybody who voted for me, and thanks to everybody who didn't vote for me but that did vote. It's your democratic right and you should exercise it. I look forward to being back in the legislature. It's been a little while since I've been in, so I'll have to get my sea bearings again, but I'm looking forward to working with the new class of representatives, and congratulations to Carmen McKenzie on her win for governor and everyone who got elected to representative. Thank you.
Look at you.
Next, we'd like to invite another state representative that won re-election today, Jordan Malone of the Progress Party.
The best state yet. Woo!
Wow. I want to thank everyone that came out tonight. This is incredible. Going back just 4 months ago, I got sixth place in the election, and I worked my ass off these last 3 to 4 months, and here we are. I reached the goal, but the job's not done yet. We still have a lot of things to do, and I'm excited to work alongside the other state representatives this term, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you again for everyone who came out tonight.
Good shit, Jordan!
And last but not least is Audrey Storm.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone who voted. The campaigning was great. Everyone did wonderful. Thank you so much to Bex Lawson, because without her, I wouldn't be up here. I wouldn't have accomplished nearly as much as I did. And I mean, it just wouldn't be done without her. So I'm interested to see how this term's going to go. And I hope that I can be half of the representative she was in this. I look forward to working with all the other representatives, and I hope we get a lot of good stuff done.
Thank you, Audrey. Also, one more round of applause to all your new government officials, the new governor, new state reps. Again, we'd just like to close out the evening by thanking Endeavor Associates for the use of the vineyard again tonight. Thank you for all the voters who got out and voted, the State Election Commission. Thank you guys for having us for the debates and here again tonight. Also, another thank you to our vendors here tonight, Toe Beans, Reese's Pizza. We got Conrad inside, and don't forget, we got Euphoric Cannabis over here. Make sure everyone takes an opportunity, supports their local business. And thank you again for having us here tonight. And congrats to the new state reps and new governor. Mickey?
Thank you, gentlemen, for doing a great job as our announcers this evening. This was quite the roller coaster of the race. Really, literally too close to call until the final votes came in. So on behalf of Weasel Corp, congratulations to all of the candidates who were elected today. Thank you to the public who was here in person and those watching our broadcast from the comfort of your own homes. My name is Mickey Rivers, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Good night.
What about the concession speech?
Rob, we were told we were gonna have time.
Stop the steal, y'all! You've spoken. The people of San Andreas have spoken.
I guess somebody
Stop the steal.